Good evening. I'm your host, Jake. We have a great show for you tonight. Tonight, I'm with actors and producers from Basil King, as you can see. And some of these are no stranger. We've had out before. And we're just going to talk about the production here. Let me just read this because I got to get all the details correct. Basil King is a fresh parody, taking its inspiration from the classic mafia films and combining it with dark comedies such as Tropic Thunder and Blazing Saddles. Basil King is pushing boundaries and inviting a new conversation on cancel culture in today's society around comedy. The team is shooting their award-winning script this coming June, recent, and the plot revolves around a late-night business meeting that results in a brutal murder of a pizzeria owner, forcing three overzealous gangster wannabes to dispose of the body. The trio is about to come to terms with their lack of experience, and when one wrong move thrusts them into a grave too deep to climb out of. And so, let's take a clip and roll clip one.
I don't know why I use my blindfold. I freaking sleep with that.
Tony, will you stop busting our beans? I'm gonna deal with this. No, there's a lot of things I don't like in this world. Dishonesty is on top of that list. And this is what you get when you lie to me.
Scorsese's trash compared to Basil King.
Basil King saved my life. It was really low, drinking all the time, a lot of drugs, a lot of needles in the arm.
Basil King gets us
We're
hard.
not getting hard together.
Right. Oh, okay, wait. Maybe.
But if we had to.
I don't know. If we had to.
Jeffrey Bezos is a god amongst men.
Beautiful man.
Jeffrey Bezos is hot.
I concur.
I'm a little bit stalking him, but I think he'd be okay with it.
He's almost too manly, if that's even a thing.
That's not weird. Just like a light stalking, like a few DMs, like 30 to 40 at most.
I love Basil King. Basil King was at my grandmother's funeral, and without him, we wouldn't have had the perfect rigatoni without some of his basil.
He's a real sweet man.
And then after the funeral, the Basil King brought the rest of his Basil brothers, and we all prayed together over the rigatoni.
Basil King helped me be an accomplice to murders.
So charismatic, just one of the most sensual characters I've seen on film this year.
And we just sprinkled basil everywhere in grandmother's honor.
Basil King.
Basiled over everybody.
I was really deeply moved emotionally.
Basil everywhere in everyone's faces.
And not just by the graphic violence, but by the story as well.
I haven't laughed this hard since Schindler's List.
How does it feel to be the best? Now, you don't think you're the best? My apologies. But that's the difference between you and I. But listen.
So you're probably wondering, what the is Basil King?
Imagine if Goodfellas and Eastbound and Down had a baby, and that baby was raised by Tropic Thunder. You get a very violent, foul-mouthed, egotistical, narcissistic, idiotic heathen that is Jeffrey Bezos, which is the Basil King in a nutshell.
Basil King revolves around an egocentric crime boss and his overzealous Skumas as they are thrown into more debt than they can possibly get out of.
So you have your winners and you have your losers. And it's a dog-eat-dog world out there. And if your bite is not as loud as your bark, well, your crony lied to me. And this is what you get when you lie to me. You really hurt my feelings, you know that?
I'm Taylor Fredricks, the co-writer and producer, and I play Tony Smokes.
Tony Smokes, Jeff's right-hand man, best friend, and head of security. He's sort of the Henry Hill of the trio, but also the lovable idiot like Stevie. He's sensitive, believes in true love, and is also the most loyal person you'll ever meet.
Oh, we gotta drag him. We got freaking legs.
Guys, no, come on. I didn't do anything. I swear to God, you got the wrong guy.
I hadn't heard that one before. Hercules, Big Lebowski, Gran Torino. No, not Gran Torino. He doesn't say that. He says, "Did you ever come across somebody you shouldn't have with?"
I'm Shaun Meglen, and I play Bobby Botany.
Bobby Botany, the head botanist of Basil Industries, is the Tommy DeVito of the bunch. He's hot-headed and will murder somebody at the drop of a hat if the task calls for it. But he's also very existential and understands the meaning of life better than most people.
Nah, it's a similar situation. It means something completely different. He's talking about a different person in the scenario.
Why do you always gotta lowball me, Bobby?
Well, I'm just trying to help you out.
I'm Ryan Castro, co-writer and producer, and I play Jeffrey Basils, the Basil King. Jeffrey Basils, the Basil King himself, is a James Conway group with an ego trip of Kenny Powers. He inherited his basil empire from his mother, Mama Basils, as he watched her grow a basil plant from their hallway closet to sell it on the streets in the most dangerous situations imaginable.
You won't get far in life unless you have the wit, and the balls, and the motivation to never give up.
Hey, what I'm saying right now is valid points, and you're not letting me have a valid point.
Where the fuck's the guy? You two guys just f us.
I mean, he was here a second ago, Jeff, I swear to God.
He couldn't have gotten far on foot.
Just start looking.
Poor kid in a wheelchair. Ironic.
Our team has also created the award-winning comedy Jimmy Arcuro Presents Rebel Without a Beer.
Ryan and I grew up with an affinity for 90s and 2000s R-rated comedies. They were raw, overstepped boundaries, were stupid as hell, but there was such an innocence to them that made them funny as
There he is! There he is!
All right, let's get that slimy
Come on, Bobby!
Calm down, Bobby. Slow down.
Slow down!
Slow down, Bobby.
Damn it! Should've worn my seatbelt.
Is he dead?
Oh yeah, we got him. He's dead.
Oh, you nasty motherfucker.
comedies today. They're just not made like that anymore. If you miss these R-rated blue-collar comedies, we're bringing it back with Basil King.
Basil King will play out like watching Goodfellas on the couch while having some gabagool, but it will bring you all the laughter of an old-school Fairley Brothers film.
That was awesome, and I cannot wait to see this, so hurry up and let's finish it and get it done. I'm going to ask you some questions, but quickly, before we get going, let's just quickly introduce, say your names and your roles in the film real quick.
I'm Sheilava, and I'm one of the producers and also assistant director.
I'm Taylor Fredricks. I am Tony Smokes, producer and co-writer.
Forget about it.
Hi, I'm Ryan Castro. I play Jeffrey Basils, and I'm also a writer and producer.
And I'm Shaun Meglen, and I play Bobby Botany.
Okay, guys, how did you come up with this? I want to see so much of this from just that teaser and the stuff that I've seen. How did you come up with this?
Yeah, so Taylor and I we went to like a pizzeria, a local Austin pizzeria, and this place was charging.
Won't say any names.
Yeah, I won't say the name, but this place was charging. Was it $4.99 for toppings? One of the toppings was basil. Me and Taylor looked at each other like, this cannot be like a real thing, right?
Basil business is booming.
We were just like, we have to do something and set around this. So, and that's how this became.
Yeah, we ended up at literally that one little piece right there was just like, it sparked 6 episodes.
And you know, comedy is this, like comedians are the same way. There's some weird absurdity in their day, and they go with it. And you guys totally ran with it, which is awesome. And how did you guys all meet?
I actually met Castro here. I met him we used to work at Alamo together. Met him through that, and then we just instantly connected and had love for film, obviously, working at Alamo and all that good stuff. And so we started working on films ever since COVID and doing our own little web series back then. I met Shaun through it was another video shoot. He was doing some mixology video, and I met him through that. And next thing you know, I was like, I like this guy. And then we ended up getting him on the last web series that we did. And then once we decided to do Basil King, we're like, yo, we got to bring Shaun back into this because the chemistry is just tight with all 3 of us. And yeah, so that's kind of how it goes. You want to say something?
Yeah, how did you get brought into this?
So I've been Facebook friends with Taylor for, I don't know, 3 years
It was
plus.
our 3 anniversary Facebook friend.
Facebook anniversary.
That's very serious.
I think you had made a post or something like, hey, we're looking for somebody who can assist direct, line produce, help with locations, wardrobe. I don't know what it said, something. And I got tagged / forwarded the post by like 20 different people. Like they sent me the post or they text me like, oh my gosh, this is you, and you've got to check out this comedy. It's so good. And I'd never heard of it. Like, I don't know, sometimes you have, doom scroll and like the algorithms and you just don't see all of the friends and all the content you're creating. So I hadn't heard of it yet. I clicked on it and I just started like bursting. Yeah. My sides just started bursting. It was so funny. And so I met with Taylor, had a little meeting. He kind of told me what they were doing. And I was like, tell me when and where. Yeah. I want to be a part of it.
How new in the process was this? Like in the beginning, like what was fished out yet? What did you know when you brought?
Me? Yeah. So they had already done their trailer, which you guys just saw. They had already done a lot of skits, and they had done one short film within the Basil King universe called Wrong Guy, and that actually just got into the ATX short film showcase, which happens on May 13th at Spider House Ballroom. So we're excited to go celebrate that official selection. And it was kind of fun, but also like I felt like such an oddball coming in because they have this universe already built. It already has so much traction. People are talking about it left and right. They have so much to share. And I'm like just stepping in like this little chipmunk, like peeking in the window, like, hey. So actually today was the very first time we ever worked on set together. We're filming another skit that's within the Basil King universe called Bobby's Sick Day. And we can't wait to share more about that when we're allowed to.
Yeah. Teaser. Yeah. And let's also, how long did it take you to write it when you guys like, oh, this is good. This Basil's out of control. We got to parody this. Was this a long process?
It's a long process. I feel like writing like something like this, as we kind of develop more as the characters, the whole script starts to change. Yeah. And as all of a sudden we start coming up with new dialogue and we end up like learning the character better. So like we know exactly what to say this time than that time.
I think the biggest thing too is like, I know I've written a lot of different things. I don't consider myself a good writer by any means, but I'm an idealist for sure.
A good writer always says that.
Hey, okay, all right.
I'm awesome. They're like, hey, whatever.
Well, the good thing is we ended up bringing in our other co-writer, Isaac Seago, who loves to write. I'm like, that dude just loves to write. And so we're like, all right, we need him involved. So when we met him, was it a couple years ago, at Lake Travis Film Festival. And at that point, we brought him on. I was like, hey, we have a first draft of the first episode done, and then we have an outline for the rest of the 6 episodes total. And he's like, all right. He's like, yeah, he's like, all right, yeah, send it to me. It sounds fun. I'll maybe get to it in a couple weeks. Literally the next day, he's like, hey, here's the script for.
He had too much fun.
Yeah, he had so much fun. So he's been a huge support and a huge help on the writing process of Basil King. And we've had a lot of stuff even a year or so ago where we would just get together and just flesh out the whole season. And it's still, obviously, the more that we develop this world that we've created, it's consistently getting developed, and we'll probably still look at the rest of the season, and flesh it out even more. So
speaking of, let's kind of talk about cast and crew and some people that aren't here tonight, and do some name dropping on who's all involved in the project.
Okay, so the Rebel Without a Beer, which was the last award-winning thing that we did. The DP on that was Chico Mejia. We're bringing him back to DP this, and love that dude. And that's actually how I met through Shaun was through Chico. Yeah. But then we have Daryl Della, who's our director, who he was the DP on Wrong Guy, on the little skit Wrong Guy, and instantly connected with him through ATX Short Film Showcase. Has the same kind of humor. I was like, we got to get homie to come in and direct this. Yep. And then. Yeah, who am I? I don't want to leave anybody out.
Oh, well, are we allowed to announce the cast just yet? Or
No, not yet.
Next time.
Next time for sure.
But you got some, okay.
And
Some
then
new characters you're
Amato.
introducing.
Oh yeah, we have our
Producer who couldn't be here today.
Yeah, we have our another executive producer, Armando De Hoyos, who has been a huge help throughout this whole pre-production process, and we can't thank that dude enough.
Yeah. And on that thing in the background, is there more information? Let's also give out the emails or Facebooks, all that good stuff. How do people find more information about this?
We're on Facebook, Instagram, all that good stuff. Boom, there it is. BasilKingFilm.com, which is essentially our link tree, and it'll have every single link on there for you.
Yep.
And yeah, you can find everything you want on there.
Good. You also mentioned your writer who just went nuts and started writing stuff, which reminds me, we're going to read something here that he said. During season 1, the Basil King universe gets more and more fleshed out. It has a lot of similarities with our world, but has a lot of absurd aspects to it that set it apart. It's almost an alternate universe. There will be a lot more to unpack in future seasons. Nice. Let's take a closer look at the main characters in this, and we're going to start with Jeff Basil and the Basil King himself. And here we are, played by Ryan Castro. Roll clip 2.
Produce. What a hell of a drug. You got your lettuce, you got your fruits, you got your peppers. Then you pass by the herb section and bam! You're hypnotized by the beauty of basils. Maybe you want to make yourself a delicious pesto sauce. Maybe you want to make a tasty caprese salad. Maybe your sweet tooth kicks in and you want to make your blueberry basil goat cheese pie. Whatever the instance might be, rely on it. Act on it. You got one life to live, so why live it with what ifs? Live it with right nows. So buy Jeffrey's Basils today and leave your worries buried at the bottom of Town Lake.
That's awesome. How did you... All these characters are funny. How did you, because you have to, get into that character to get that voice. How fun was that? How did you do
That's
that?
actually the funnest part, is doing, honestly, when we found out, when we found out how much basil cost, that was the first thing that came into my head was I want to do a mafia voice for him. And sure enough, we just kept playing around with it.
Yeah.
And weeks and months became it just became our thing, talking.
You gotta
and
just
that.
be dying laughing,
Yeah.
talking to each other.
I can only imagine the people around us looking at us how crazy we are.
We've done the accent so much at this point. When you're around us, even being around Isaac for so long, he starts talking. He's like, yeah. So and he's like, crap, you got me talking like it now. It's hey.
What would you say is your second favorite herb?
No.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Oh. That went over my head. And we just had 420.
Yeah.
Woo. Okay. I got it. Okay. I'm very square. What's it like playing how hard is it to get out of character? When you're shooting this, do you do it all day?
It's very exhausting to be this egocentrical. Just I'm just
probably hard.
Oh my God, it's you really have to embrace it. It's one of those things, and it takes a lot of energy out of you for sure.
Now, also playing in character, are you really getting into the I was hoping maybe I'd get a recipe, a favorite basil recipe. What would you suggest?
Just basil salads, man.
Basil salad, maybe a pesto.
Yeah, just throw some pesto sauce in there.
Yeah, nice. Awesome. Let's move along. I want to make sure we get through everything. That character is awesome, and I know you just enjoy that. Let's take a closer look at the Goombas. Now, was that written into the script? The Goombas? That's pretty good.
Mm-hmm. That's actually the title of the pilot too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I've never said that before. Next up, Bobby Botany, played by Shaun Meglen. Roll clip 3.
Is it better to have loved and lost than to never have loved at all? It's like asking whether 'tis nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take arms against a sea of troubles, and by opposing, end them. Yeah, that's a little Shakespeare for you. I might have some culture. I know, this hard exterior makes it look a little aggressive, but underneath, I'm a very cultured man. I know about art, music, love. Have I ever been loved? What is love, anyways? Couldn't tell you. Never experienced it. Not personally, at least. Unless you count the love between a man and his left hand. Unless you're left-handed, then it's going to be your right hand, because you always want to go with the non-dominant hand. Sit on it for a few minutes beforehand if you want, then you got a real stranger. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it is better to have loved and lost than to never have loved at all. The greatest thing you'll ever learn is just to love and be loved in return. And how to get away with love.
Wow, words of wisdom. Words of wisdom.
I forgot we filmed that.
I forgot we filmed.
You're very worldly, I can see. Do you have a favorite book?
No, I don't really read much.
No.
I read the script. Yeah, that's been my favorite so far.
Man, so what was the inspiration for that character? That's pretty good.
I mean, when I heard these guys talking in that accent, I was like, oh, I can do that. I love that. Like, we can talk like this all day. Like, let's go out, you know? And it kind of just started with that. And it was like, how bonkers can we make this character? You know, I mean, we kind of knew right off the bat that I was going to be the kind of loose cannon of the group. And so I was given free reign to kind of go nuts, and that's what happened.
And so Bobby Botany, did you pick that name, or was that written in?
They wrote that name in already, yeah.
Because that's just perfect. So in this thing, are you in charge of, like, you know, the gardening part? You know,
yeah. I'm like the scientist. Yeah,
Okay,
I'm the chemical guy behind the scenes, making sure that the
research department.
Research science department research. I've got a proprietary soil that we grow our basil in.
Gotta get you a Heisenberg hat.
Oh God, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm the cook.
Okay. Do you garden in real life?
I mean, I used to actually. In the last house I was in, I had a little garden in the backyard. It was kind of nice.
Yeah.
I was able to use it for some of the like we were doing some social media kind of campaigning, and so I was able to do a clip where I'm literally clipping some basil from my garden. It was nice. It felt very meta.
Very good. Yeah. You know, I saw the interview in one of the from your website where it has video of you guys being interviewed, and I was laughing so hard at that. And so I wanted to ask you along those lines, since you're so worldly, you probably know about this. Who built the pyramids? Who do you think?
Oh, that's
You
a
really think it
good
was the
question.
Egyptians, or aliens?
All right, so here we go. The pyramids were built by a very, very advanced race from a long time ago that visited Earth. The evidence has been buried over millennia. You're not going to see the evidence in this lifetime, but guaranteed humans didn't do that.
That's the correct answer.
Guaranteed.
The Anunnaki did it. Yeah, the Anunnaki. Very good. Very.
I don't know if it was the Anunnaki. I don't know the name of the aliens, but it was definitely somebody from another time or place.
Exactly. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's good. And let's go. Certainly not last. We're going to take a peek at Tony Smokes, and played by Taylor Fredricks. Roll clip 4.
Dating apps suck, and here's why. Most women are on these apps to kill time and play games. I'm a busy guy, so I ain't trying to kill time or play games, unless it's Uno, because that game But I'm on these dating apps to find my soulmate. So get off these apps and get on Tony's Tinder. It's like Tinder, but it's Tony's Tinder. Here's what makes it different from every other app. When you go to sign up, it'll ask you, are you on here to kill time, or are you on here to find your soulmate? If you say you're on there to kill time, the app instantly deletes itself from your phone. Another thing that makes this app so special is that not only do the women have to make the first move, but if they don't respond to your message within 24 hours, the phone will blow up with notifications every 2 minutes until they respond to said message. And if they don't respond after the first 10 notifications, the app instantly deletes itself from your phone. I'm telling you, this app is changing the dating app industry and will get you on more dates in no time. Tony's Tinder. Stop wasting time and find your soulmate within 24 hours.
So much to say, so much.
Did you ever launch that app?
Nah, it's still in development.
Yeah. Okay, well, that's pretty worldly too. It's a very, good view on the dating scene, which is pretty true. It's pretty sad out there. I'll have to look for Tony's Tinder. Hopefully it's on Android.
Yeah, I think we already went in beta with it. These guys, it was me and them and our moms.
It's a little weird.
God bless them.
It was, yeah.
Okay, so, since you're the lover, You know, maybe not you're the lover, not the fighter. You leave that to the other guys. Do you know about the love languages? Do you know what your love language is?
You know, I'm a big. I like quality time. Okay.
Okay, so you do know. Very good. All right.
Yeah. Been down that road a few times before. Figured it out.
You're gonna read them just so for people that don't know. There's acts of service, words of affirmation, quality time, gifts, and touch. And I laughed so hard thinking about these because from that role and that character, I was thinking, touch, yeah, you know, I touch, you know, I was thinking of all those things, gifts, quality time, like hiding something, you know, I could see, by the way, the skits that you do, you could totally do every one of those. Very good. But what did you say yours was?
Yeah, I'd say quality time. I think quality time is probably up there with me. I think I did a test on it, and it was like, yeah, it's quality time. I was like, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
You like being out in the fields, you know.
You know, I'm much of a homebody. You know, at that point, you know, it's like, you know, but I'll put the effort in when I'm supposed to put the effort in. You know.
There you go.
I guess.
And on a totally kind of similar thing. But something that people don't know a lot about, and I'll just ask, do you know about attachment styles? Have you heard of that?
Yes. God, we getting personal.
Man, he does.
You know, I've done a lot of self-development.
Dating for a while.
Yeah, no, I've definitely had an anxious attachment style, but I think I'm starting to become more of a secure attachment style at this point.
Yeah.
So it's growth.
I find that I feel like when you like I'm anxious, and for those of you who don't, do you know what these are? The anxious and okay. So anxious.
I'm in Basil King land right now.
Yeah, I can see you doing those two. So it's really good. How did you? That's a good character. Fun and you know the fact that you're all kind of specializing in you know different fun aspects of any character. How did you come up with that?
It was kind of more so like, all right, you know. It started with the love. You gotta have the lovable idiot. You gotta have the one that's kind of you know dumb, but also you know he has a soft heart. You know, and like you saw in the trailer him throwing up. It's like, yo, you're in a business essentially that kills people all the time, but you know he can't. He's not really good with blood and you know guts and stuff like that. So I think it adds that extra layer of it, and he's very loyal to Jeff because it's like you know his right hand man, and so it's like very you know I got your back and. Yeah, that was a big thing that we, you know, developed with Tony, and he's definitely the lover, like you're saying.
Now I know you all write, but how often? Because I can see, like in these scenes, how much are you allowed to ad lib, or how much it just comes so natural anyway, and you make it up in the moment?
I think we excel well as far as ad-libbing. I think we were just talking about this earlier. Like we do have this script, and we just have these guidelines. But as soon as we're out there, we're just like. We'll start talking, and all of a sudden something comes in our head, and we're just like, that was hilarious. Yeah. Like, we got to use that.
Yeah, like, since we haven't even shot the pilot yet, most of the stuff that we've done has been just, like, roughly outlined, and then, like, we fill it in, and then cut it together, and, like, I mean, a lot of the interview questions, like, we did that full interview where it was, like, 30-something questions we'd never seen, and we just turned the camera on and went for it.
That was brilliant.
And it was
Who was asking that? Was that a part of your
That was Isaac.
team?
Yeah, that was the other writer, producer.
God, that's so good.
I want to add to that real quick. Yeah, so when we were filming today's skit, it was at how did she say it? Escapology, an escape room in Round Rock, super far north Austin. So we're filming Bobby's Sick Day, and again, it was the first time for me working on set with them, and I got to experience not only the wonderful accents, the characters, but also the improv. And I'm just blown away. Like I was blown away watching their skits from the get-go, you know, wanting to be a part of the production. Blown away in person to see that. And then it's like also mind-blowing to see y'all be hard on yourselves take after take, like, oh, that wasn't good. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, that was amazing. Yeah, the crew is literally like containing their laughter, and it's just like take after take after take. They come up with new things, riffing off of each other. It's just so good and real and raw, and I'm very proud of y'all.
So speaking of shooting, because that, you know, I want to see this. Where are you in the shooting process? Where are you in the schedule? And you know, when when can we consume this material?
So it's gonna be a minute. So we're shooting the first week in June. So at that point, I'm also gonna be editing the thing. So that's gonna be a whole process on its own.
Yeah.
But other than that, I think, I'd love to have it finished up by the end of the year. That's the plan.
And when you say finish up, one episode, two, like
we right now we just had the budget for the one episode.
Okay,
and so once we get that done, we're ready to go with that. We're gonna start festival shopping it, and then at that point, we'll find some guy with some money and be like, hey. He's gonna be like, hey, take that, finish up the rest of the season.
Yeah, to add on to that, to anybody watching, if you happen to know people who have lots of money and they don't know what to do with it, and they like this concept, we do have a campaign going right now. We're raising additional funds for this pilot episode we're filming. So Basil King film.com has all of our info there. We're trying to raise just an extra like $3,000 or so we can get some studio time, do VFX, CGI. We're gonna get a car literally inside the studio to make it look like it's driving across the highway and up to a cornfield. But yeah, like all of the work they've put in thus far is just with what they have in their own pockets, friends and colleagues that have come out to help us, the skit we did today. So we're doing the thing before we've even done the thing, right?
Yeah,
we're making all of this, promotional material to get people hyped about it. Yes. We haven't even filmed the pilot episode. So that's coming, like he said, first week of June. The pilot episode is essentially going to be our proof of concept and pitch to anybody watching, anybody out there. And we're indie, we're the underdog, we're doing this with what we have. Yeah. And it looks darn good. Yeah. So imagine what we could do if we had a couple $100,000, or if like in Hollywood they got millions and millions. We have, I think, 6 episodes already written and fleshed out for season 1. The final episode of season 1 is mind-blowing, like out of left field. I can't spoil it because it's just so good. Yeah. And then there's already a huge spark for season 2. So we have the material, and any additional help from investors or to our GoFundMe will make this happen.
Yeah. And also along those lines, because a lot of people have no idea how much a film costs, or even one episode of a show. No idea. Just roughly, and of course it depends on the budget and stuff, but and where you need to be shot and scenes like that. But roughly for this, I mean, how much are we talking, just as a ballpark?
I get that question all the time as a producer. It's like, well, how much do you need?
Yeah.
And it's like, we can up the ante, the next tier, the next tier, the next tier. It's like, are we using the camera that we've had for the last 5-10 years? Are we borrowing a friend's camera? We owe these people favors. They owe us favors. We help each other on everything.
Yeah.
But it's like, if we had even just an extra $100,000, we could get literally everything under the sun to make this look Hollywood. And you saw from that trailer how beautiful that was.
And coming over the bridge like that, looking down, sharp.
That's with what we have.
Yeah.
So for this pilot, like the funds they raised last year, we're getting a Fisher dolly, which is like, how long is that thing? 9 feet? It's a long piece of equipment.
Yeah.
To allow us to do different shots and make it even more cinematic.
Yeah.
So I tell people all the time, like, yes, we're making these skits with what we have in our pockets, with virtually low or no budget. Now imagine what we can do if we had $100,000, a couple $100,000.
Yeah.
If there's an investor out there that's just like, I have millions of dollars, I don't know what to do with it. Well, believe in us, we'll get this to Netflix,
So as far as money and budget, I asked the question, and it kind of depends. So, right, so like if you only have this amount of money, maybe the budget determines how you, like, the driving to a cornfield. Okay,
yes.
This amount of money, we can do a green screen, or we can attach a camera to a car and shoot it that way.
Oh, yeah.
One of those is more money, one of them is cheaper.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and
so those kind of decisions can be made based
100%.
on. Yeah.
Yeah, you can always up the ante.
Yeah.
The other thing that's like the constant struggle with being an indie filmmaker is everybody's just working their tail off, like burning the candle at both ends, including the secret middle end. And we tire ourselves out because we're just helping other people on their projects since they helped us on ours. With a real budget, we could pay everybody not just their normal rate, but better than, and we could thank them in that way. We can have bigger wrap parties, red carpet events, invite the public out, make bigger
Basil for
waves.
everybody.
Yeah, spread the basil.
Where's my? I was expecting like a little basil starter, something to go into my garden.
Yeah, and all in all, like having having backers, having investors, having the funds there, it makes it easier on us. So we're not You can hear we're all a little tired. We've been going at this all day, and then came pretty much straight here after shooting all day, or after filming all day. And like it would just help us out, so we didn't have to wear ourselves out so much, and we can focus on higher quality content, churning out more episodes, that kind of thing. So anybody watching, if you've got a friend in your contacts who just doesn't know what to do with their money, send them my way.
and so shooting today, is this indoor, outdoor?
Indoor escapology, escape room in North Austin, Round Rock area.
Is this part of the script, or is this more like skit?
Yeah, we're doing like kind of like just like more skits to why we wait to do the pilot. We want to give content out to people, and we're still kind of building a good team and like starting to see new directors, new DPs that we can work with to kind of develop our look.
Well, and that's a big thing about this too, is like all these little skits, shorts, whatever you want to call them. We're actually working with a new director each time, a new director of photography each time. And it's like, okay. And at that point too, it's like, yeah, it's our friends, and it's also people we haven't really worked with before, but it's like, seeing like, hey, here's the script, and letting them, take the vision we have for it and let them create their own thing. So it's like, like you're creating something that's not just what we wrote, but you're making it your own as well. And it's something that we love to do. We love collaborating. So
Like you're saying, there's like these characters you can just easily start making stuff up to these guys. Like they're such characters in their own. You're just like, oh, I can easily do this with this Tony's Tinder skit. And you're like,
Yeah, to piggyback off of all of that, just describing the characters, describing the passion for this world they're building, and talking a little bit about how hard we're all working before this pilot episode. That it's like the proof is in the pudding sort of thing. It's like the work is being put in even without the budget. And so it kind of proves the dedication and the heart. Like, we're not giving up on this, even though we're low, no budget, even though we're indie, like we're working really hard from the get-go to give content to our fans and followers, and that's why people are falling in love with Basil King. And again, we haven't even shot the pilot episode yet, so we're getting there. Like, can you even imagine how big and how cool that pilot episode's going to be?
And what is the dream? The end all would be a TV show, a movie. Like, what would be both? But like, what would be the ultimate?
Well, we're getting this thing on Netflix, Max.
Nice.
That's the plan. I mean, I'm not going to say, oh, if we, it's going to happen. We'll make it happen somehow. And so I think that's the biggest thing, is making sure we can knock out this season. And we'll look at making the second season too, which Isaac's already like, I'm already started writing. I was like, all right, bro, yeah, go for it. You want to add to that?
I think
They covered it all.
I think he covered what I wanted to say. Yeah,
I mean, that's
your dreams are my dreams, man.
I mean, that's essentially what it is. We're all filmmakers and actors that really want, would love to do this full time. And it's always something that I always, even like my own personal life, I call it the Sandler approach. I love Adam Sandler. I grew up with him. Spark a lot of inspiration. And so it's like, that dude, regardless, even if his movies aren't that great here and there, it's like, he's still getting paid to make movies with his friends.
And that's the end goal.
That's the end goal.
Key. Every one of those guys in that group, they bring each other in. Everybody, share the love, share the money, the success, which I think helps. I think if you try to isolate, if they all kind of went off and did their own thing, they're better together. Like, I can't, you guys are so good together. You got to stay together.
Like I say, we play off each other well, so we know.
I can see this on Netflix. Or I'm going to see it on Netflix.
You will see it on Netflix, Max, Hulu, whichever.
Manifest, look it up.
Yeah, exactly. Affirmations, all of it.
At least the reruns.
What kind of, so I'm guessing you are brought in for many reasons, but one of them is are you keeping on schedule, like get this going?
Yeah, so I am the timekeeper, essentially, and the problem solver and the fire putter outer of the production. I'm wearing a lot of hats. You can tell I love
By
hats.
the way, that's a great hat.
Sorry for the fuzzy noise, but you can tell I love hats, yes. I'm wearing a lot of hats on this production, from assist directing to helping produce, all of pre-production, making sure we have all locations secured, enough background extras. We have craft services, catering, safety, things like parking and things like
all the
trash
stuff
bags.
that we don't want to do.
All the nitty gritty stuff that you never hear about, that you have to have on a film set. It has to be there, otherwise it's a miserable experience. You have to make sure like there are bathrooms nearby. You have to block off streets. We have minors. In this pilot episode, we have a scene in a gym where some fun stuff transpires. And because we have minors on set,
Certain time.
they can only work, I think, 6 hours. And then that's it. So all those teeny, tiny details have to be taken into consideration in advance and then executed as smoothly as possible on set. I like to say, I put out the fires before they start.
Preventative maintenance.
Yes, preventative maintenance. And then also, any department that needs my help while we're on set, like I'll probably be bouncing around, just checking in with wardrobe, props, production design, set design, and just making sure everything runs smoothly. That's kind of my job.
Chains for them to be wearing.
Gold chains. I need a gold chain. Where's my gold chain? So that's my job, just kind of like Jackie of all trades sort of deal. And I love it. Like, I don't like sitting still. Like, this makes me no. I don't like just having one thing to do. It kind of puts me in a box. I love helping out wherever I can. I love being, everywhere all at once. And I just love this production so much. I believe in it, so I'm putting in the work to make it happen with them.
And, you're talking about like with different rules with kids and everything. Do we have different parameters here shooting in Texas, or is the film industry, no matter whether LA or Texas?
I believe
as far as unions, it's different. So
I believe it's standard, but gosh, if people make minors work longer than 6 hours, I want to know who does that so I can yell at them.
Just so we can move there, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, in other ways too.
Oh, yeah. Well, I think things get more strict. So we're non-union, we're indie. It's been brought up once, should we go SAG? If we were to find the funds to do that, it would be a whole slew of additional regulations and rules and guidelines we'd have to follow. A lot of indie sets will go past the 10-hour mark, and people will be very tired and ragged, and getting home safely is a concern. We don't want to do that, regardless if we're union, non-union. But, if we were to go SAG, if we were to get the funds to be able to afford to go SAG, that's something that it would be just like set in stone. Like everybody would have a normal, quote unquote, work day, get to go home and rest before the next day's over. So that's just some of the nitty gritty stuff nobody ever thinks about.
You just have a little bit more freedom now that you're not that.
We're going to try and keep it to 10 hours a day. Like, we want to be respectful of everybody's time. This is all the stuff that's not very fun. I love hearing more about the characters and that, but my job it's so stressful.
Someone's gotta do it.
Yeah, somebody's got to do all the crap. I got to shovel the crap, and just make sure things happen smoothly.
Yeah. So. I know that you guys have been shopping this around, getting great, accolades, and people like, oh my God, I love it. When can I see more? Where all have you shopped? Where all have you put it yet, and to get feedback?
So this is the first time that I've even put out any just script out on the festival circuit. So it was interesting to see how that is, because it's like everyone's like, oh, you won. That's great. Where can I see it? I was like, you can't yet. You know, can I see it at the festival? No, you literally can't yet.
Still
you
in
know?
paper.
So,
Screenplay.
but like
The screenplay.
the screenplay.
Okay.
Yeah, just the screenplay.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So we've had
Writers Award.
Yeah, so yeah, we've gotten like, what was it, best dark comedy teleplay, best short form TV pilot.
And where do you go? Where do you enter these?
Well, a few of them was it Austin Comedy Film Festival, Austin Under the Stars, Austin Spotlight Film Festival. We had one in Cleveland, the Short Sweet Film Festival, I think it's called.
ATX Short Fest.
Yeah, well, not the ATX Short Fest. Or was it the
Oh, sorry, I'm thinking of the wrong guy.
Austin Short Fest? There's so many I can't keep up. We won 6. Okay, we're kind of a big deal.
Woo, hey, 6 is good. 6 is good. I love it. Let's see. We also have a clip of some of the. Well, what is the clip? Some of the awards, right?
Yeah, little slideshow.
A little slideshow. Let's look at that real quick, and then we'll come back and talk a little bit more. Okay.
Manifest.
Yeah.
Manifest.
So I was like, okay, is that real or that's totally just?
It's so funny. We actually, because AI, people want to hate on AI as much as they want, but it's fun. It's it's a good time. And so I was messing around with that and ended up getting, Funko Pops made. And so many people were like, where can I buy one? Where can I buy one? I was like, no, it's just literally just the picture. You can actually go on Funkos and buy and get them made.
Send your picture.
But that's the thing is it's so limited. And I was like, no, there's no style for this kind of hair on that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, all right.
Get on your game, Funko.
That's what I even emailed them, and they never hit me back.
Curl mullets.
Funko, if you're listening, we're mad.
Yeah, that would be good. I mean, the promo material, the swag bags are endless. You could go tons with that. I love it. Yes, that's what I'm saying. Little starter plants, all kinds of stuff. Those little bobblehead things.
Yeah, on that note, so anytime we have something make it into a film festival, we try to set up a booth. We got, little keychains. We're happy to make more of these beautiful hats, by the way. We're happy to make t-shirts. So if there's a demand, we will.
And
stickers, yeah.
You'll all get one.
Basil's for everyone.
Look under your seats.
Yeah. So.
And you.
Yeah, people ask all the time, where can we see it? How can we support? That. Just showing up in person would mean the world. We've had a lot of people come out recently to support a screening we did at Austin Film Society, or AFS Cinemas. We did it with Dollars and Donuts out of San Francisco, and literally it was like two of my worlds colliding. A lot of some of Austin's best filmmakers and actors that I work with in the fantasy, action, drama side of things, they came out to support this.
Yeah.
And vice versa, they're supporting us at their screening tomorrow. They're doing an indie showcase, and they're screening Basil King's trailer during their action, fantasy, drama little festival. So yeah.
You're just finding this out right now.
Oh yeah, I was gonna tell y'all. By the way, be there tomorrow. No. Yeah, y'all gotta be there. No. Yeah, that's tomorrow at Galaxy Theaters, Austin. Starts at 5:30 p.m. I'll also be performing. We just love bringing all sorts of creativity together. So music, film, fight choreography. You're going to see a lot of action tomorrow. But they're screening the Basil King trailer that we shared. And just the support is unreal in Austin. We're so thankful for it. If people want to know more, they can check out our website.
Yeah, let's get
And we have... I think a couple weeks to go before our next festival. It's ATX Short
Film Showcase.
I can never get that right. ATX Short Film Showcase, May 13th, Spider House Ballroom. What, 6, 7 p.m.?
7 doors, 8.
7 p.m. is door. Yeah, and we'll all be there. We'll be snazzy. There's going to be a red carpet, photos, little interview.
And this information can also be seen at the basilkingfilm.com.
Yeah, basilkingfilm.com.
So I have a question.
I have an answer.
To you.
Okay.
Have you thought about who might be doing music for this film?
So Taylor's also a multiple hat wearer, a multi-hyphenate, as we call us.
There you go.
Yeah, you do lots of music.
Like soundtrack.
Yeah, music selection.
Composing and stuff. I mean, I've definitely done that with a lot of my other films in the past. I think right now we've definitely been getting hit up from composers wanting to work on Basil King. And we kind of have a vibe of what we're looking for, which you can kind of hear some of that in that trailer. But it's like, at this point, we haven't really nailed down a composer for it yet. That'll definitely be at this point, we're so, knee deep in pre-production. So it's like once post-production hits, though, then we'll be looking for somebody for that. But yeah, I mean, we have the ideas. We just, at this point, we're also kind of shooting around the idea of introducing a lot of local Austin bands' music in there as well.
Oh, yeah.
So.
And shooting wise, besides the indoor stuff, is a lot of this going to be, are we going to recognize a lot of scenery, or is it, outside shot around and about Austin, or?
A lot of it's kind of on the outskirts. Okay. But it's going to be interesting, which might kind of play into the reality of this other world. So it's like maybe you might recognize some places, but.
Yeah, can we shout them out? Are we allowed? Couple of the places.
No, not yet.
I don't remember them.
Not yet.
Well, I'll just say we're really thankful to the community in the greater Austin area.
Yeah.
Like, we're filming at a restaurant in Pflugerville, a middle school in Kyle, Texas, a gas station out in Taylor, Texas. We just filmed at an escape room today. And the community shows up for indie filmmakers. They really do.
You're right. I'm so happy that Austin, not only for musicians friendly, but film friendly, and it probably wasn't like that maybe 10 years ago, but I think the more film that's being shot here, in the Gulf Coast, I think they're being more friendly, just like they are music friendly, and that's always good to have on your side.
I can attest. We wouldn't be able to pull this off without all the mom and pop business owners, local. Yeah, we're gonna put them all in the credits, shout them out, tag them on social media. I wish we could say it right now, but we would spoil the surprise.
No worries.
But if they're watching this, we thank you guys, and we could not. I mean, the production value of this skyrockets when we get an authentic looking, let's just say. Italian restaurant, or if we get to film in an actual middle school instead of let's just like hodgepodge it and put it together, like we actually get to film in a real middle school with a real gym, a real football field, that kind of thing. So
Makes set easy. Everything is there. You don't have to fake anything.
I think that's the other part of producing pre-production that people don't think about when they want to make a film, is like how much help you need from the community to make it happen, because we don't have millions of dollars to just be like, I want that one.
Build a set.
It's hard to build a set. We don't have our own studio. We can't just be like, I pick that one, pay it, lock it in. It's a lot of work, a lot of connecting and networking and favors and thank yous, and like we wouldn't be where we are without everybody. So thank y'all.
What is also in the universe, the Basil King universe? Is there talking of expanding to maybe, some other kind of realm, or what's the...
Well, the biggest thing is like we have, the Basil multiverse.
Oh boy.
I mean, we have a villain that's a part of it that comes later in the season, but nobody's gonna see that until the season gets made. So it's like, all right, at this point, we have this whole thing made around. It's very meta. It's also, as I was saying, starting the conversation on certain things, and that's the biggest thing, is trying to introduce new ideas and, something that a lot of people have shunned off and don't really talk about. So,
as your characters, what do you guys think about this film that we've been talking about tonight, guys?
You talking about Basil King?
Basil King.
Oh, yeah, Basil King. Oh, I don't know.
What do you guys think about that?
You mean the greatest film ever created? Yeah, it's gonna be good.
Okay.
It better be.
Yeah, like if you don't watch this, you're missing out on one of the best coming of age stories ever.
And this is a hypothetical, but if I had to get rid of a body, would you guys have any ideas on?
Yo, Bobby, you got something to say?
Look, I'm working on locations for that, but it's tough. Like, there's a lot of bodies around. You wouldn't know it, but if you start looking, they're everywhere. So you got to find a spot where there isn't a body already. That's the hottest spot.
Yeah, you don't want to be digging and running into someone else's problem.
Cornfields pretty good, cornfields.
Hey, that's a good idea.
Awesome, guys. All right, so again, basilkingfilm.com. Find out all this information. They're also, as she mentioned, always looking for backing to help, get Austin Productions made.
Yeah, anybody who's just joining us, our website has everything you need to know, and the GoFundMe we have, it's been out there like a week or two now, and we're just trying to get that last $3,000 so we can book the studio to bring a car in and green screen, VFX, everything we need.
Nice. Favorite gangster film?
Goodfellas.
It's definitely Bronx Tale.
The Sopranos. It's not a film, but it's probably the number one. Yeah.
Also Goodfellas.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I've seen it many times. Guys, thank you for coming out. You guys are awesome. Cannot wait to see more of this. So good luck, and cannot wait to see more of the Basil King and your empire of Basil.
Literal
thank you guys. We'll see you next week.